Hi, I'm Marita. One of the things that I'm really passionate about as a yoga teacher is effective cueing. The words that we choose, the language that we use when we're teaching is obviously a really big part of teaching yoga. It's a way to convey our own personality, to give our classes a particular mood or a vibe, and maybe even more importantly, the language that we use can impact whether our students grasp the concepts that we're trying to get across, and even whether they can follow our instructions. And when we're cueing, it's important that we address all of our students. So we can break our students down into three broad groups, three kinds of learners. We have our visual learners, who tend to think in pictures, our verbal or auditory learners, who think in words, and our kinesthetic learners, who learn more from feeling and doing. So anytime we're teaching a class, we want to make sure we're giving a range of cues so that regardless of what sort of learner someone is, they're able to get a lot out of our classes and really clearly understand our meaning. So in order to address our verbal or our auditory learners, the people who think in words, learn from listening, the best thing we can do is give really precise, clear instructions. These people don't need the fluff. Things like take a big step back with your right leg, press your feet down into the earth, reach up into your fingertips. Really clear, straightforward cues are helpful. For the next group of students, our visual learners, the people who think in pictures, these people are often skilled at things like drawing and painting and reading maps and diagrams. These people need a little bit more of an image in their mind in order to understand concepts. So some things that are really helpful for these people are demonstration. The people you'll often see looking up to see what you're doing or looking around to see what the other students are doing, because that's how they understand the information. So doing some demonstration is helpful, but some other things that we can do to help these people would be to use some visual imagery, some creative cues, some metaphors and similes. So things like press your feet down into the earth as if you're growing roots. Or imagine a golden thread attached to the crown of your head and that thread gently drawing your head up towards the sky. And these cues are also a great way to bring some of your own personality into your classes. And one other thing we can do to help our visual students is to direct their gaze to a particular body part. So perhaps asking them to glance back at their back arm in Warrior 2. Just getting them to have a little look, to do a little check-in, and then bring their gaze back to wherever the drishti would naturally be. And the third group of students, our kinesthetic learners, learn from feeling, from touching, from doing. These people often enjoy yoga because they like physical pursuits. And some things we can do to really help them understand and get the most out of our classes are using cues that really bring these people back into their own bodies, bring them home into their own experience. So that's things like bring your awareness to your lower belly, or feel the stretch down the back of your legs. Sense the softening in your shoulders. So all these cues that bring them back into their own internal physical experience. So anytime you're teaching a class, have a think about what cues you can use to speak to your verbal learners, your visual learners, and your kinesthetic learners. Just make sure you're using a mixture of cues to address all three groups. I hope you found this helpful. If you liked it, hit like. If you want to see more, please subscribe and feel free to comment below. Thank you.